Hi guys. I'm live for a short time because I got stood up by Alan Secrest. It turns out he has to see if it's really okay to go on my channel with his upper higher ups and his company, and is it. But he should have. To me, he should have been upfront with me that in the first place, rather than get me to post that I'm going to do it and then get like 250 views, and then all of a sudden he bows out right at this time because I was just about to go live with him. So I'm sorry he sucker punched me, but whatever. We may do it, we may not. I don't know. That's totally on his end now. But because I said I would go live with him, I didn't want to just do nothing and totally disappoint you guys. I'm sorry. I was ready to go live, and I don't know if that I don't know what's really going on, but all I know is he can't do it, and I said we were going to do it. So at least me looking like I trumped up things that weren't true, and I just want to go live real quickly just because I'm sitting here anyway. This is what I was going to wear, and I don't want to do nothing when I said I was going to go live with Alan, and I'm sorry about that, guys. Next time I'm not going to announce it. I don't. He can sucker punch me once, but not again. So next time I'll just go live when I go live with him. I'm not going to announce it again. But if we go live, we go live. If we don't, we don't. I know what disappointment looks like. It's no big deal. Been there, done that. But just since I said I was going to go live and I got all dressed up and I'm in the hippie room anyway, I figured let me just do a quick video. And I just showed you writing process for original song called "Do You," and rather than just since I did showed you that, and since I jam all the time, and then I love jamming. That's my main thing. If I want a shredder, I wouldn't even have this channel. You guys know that, I hope. Let me do it like a rhythm lesson. And somebody's gonna say, "Oh yeah, right," roll their eyes because they think I have no rhythm or whatever. But let me just try one anyway. I'm here anyways with my guitar. So let me just do a rhythm lesson. I mean, if you don't like it, don't watch. If you do, well, then here I am. Okay. How you guys doing? Rock and roll. Rhythm's a very important element of music. I just really got my head around rhythm. It's an ongoing process. You can't say at one point I just have it and I didn't have it a minute ago. It's a process. But I've gone through some processing of it, and I think I've come to some good points of it. Like today, I was just on my walk, and I realized that I do see. When I grew up, I didn't understand rhythm. I didn't understand time signatures, and I never got that straightened out. Not even until I was like in my 40s or something. I don't know. Who knows? I never even learned it really. It went over my head. Back in those days, you didn't have Google, you didn't have YouTube, you didn't have somebody that knew everything to ask. You just had to. You either figured it out on your own or you didn't. And I had this stupid book, and I didn't understand the numbers of time signatures. I didn't understand why it was even important, how many notes were in the measure. I didn't know how to count them. I didn't know what it meant by, what do they mean by the bottom number is the value of the note that gets one beat, and why do we care? It just went over my head. But about 15 years ago, I decided I'm going to either learn rhythm theory or am I going to quit. I'm just going to quit guitar. Turns out I learned it, so that's a good thing because I didn't quit guitar. And I just want to go over it a little bit with you, just a little bit, just a short thing. So let's go. Let's just start the rhythm lesson. There's such a thing. There's three main categories of time signature. Well, first there's tempo, which is not the same as time signature. Tempo is just how fast the beats are going. So if it's 100, then that's 100 beats per minute, but it tells you no information about how to group those notes. It's just tempo. Tempo is just the speed of the beats. It doesn't say anything about how to group them. I don't mean to rag on the moderator, but the moderator often says time signature, and what he's really talking about is tempo. I don't like that because it's an improper use of term. But yet at the same time, for him, when he says time signature, I just know he means tempo. But if tempo were time signature, then time signature would be nothing, or you'd have to call it something because it exists too. The time signature is mainly the number of groups, the number of notes that are grouped together in each bit. And each bit is called a measure or a bar, and the number of the top number is the number of beats in that unit called a bar or a measure. The bottom number just says how you're notating it. Do you notate it as if I say a quarter note, that's a beat, or do you mean if I say an eighth note, that's a beat? It's immaterial, really. It's just for writing it down purposes. The main thing is the top note, the top number. Now, sometimes the bottom number is important when you're talking about speeding up or slowing down the reference. In other words, if I'm in 4/4 time, and I want to say 7/4 time, that would be different than saying 7/8 time because I've already set up what 4 is. So if this is 4/4, then 7/4 would be hear that? That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But if I wanted 7/8, if I wanted to go from 4/4 to 7/8, it would sound like this. See that 7/8, the 8 is half as long as a quarter note. So the 7 would be twice as fast as 7/8 than it would be as 7/4. So it does make some difference, you know, and that brief example right there shows you some of that. But it's all rhetoric at that point. The main number is a top number, and of those top numbers, there's 3 categories of time signatures to me. There's simple, there's complex, and there's compound. Ooh, that sounds like a lot. Complex is odd time signatures, but not including 3. So complex time signatures would be 5, 4, 7, 8, 7, 4, 9, 8, 9, 4, 11, 8, 11, 4, 11, 16, 9, 16, 7, 16, 5, 16, whatever. Any odd number, but not 3, because 3, even though 3 is an odd number, it's considered a simple time signature. Simple is just 3, is either an even number, but not a multiple of 3, or 3. So simple would be 3, 4, 2, 4, 4, 4, and sometimes 6, 8, but then I'll get to that later. Compound is a multiple of 3, and they're just slowed down tempos where you're in 4/4, but you're playing triplets really slow, so it turns into 12. Like if you're going like some of the slow songs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Really, the real thing, it really is 4/4. Wait, do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Since it's so slow and it's triplets, you actually make the triplets the actual value of the notes. So it becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So it's basically just slowed down triplet feel for either, if it's 4/4 slowed down triplet feel, it would be 12/8 or 12/16. If it's slowed down 3/4 time with triplet feel, it would be 9/8 or 9/4 or 9/16. And if it's slowed down duple feel, which duple is 2/4, with triplet feel, it would be 6/8 or 6/16 or whatever. It's just slow tempo songs that are in triplets, so you actually count the triplets because it's so slow that it makes it easier to count that than just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You know, instead of 1 lane, 2 lane, 3 lane, 1, 2, 3. And if it's triplet feel, rather than do that, you just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And so that's the compound time signatures. And then one signature that can be both a complex time signature and a compound time signature is 9/8. 9/8 can be complex because it can be triplet. It can be 3/4 time with triplet feel, so it can be 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 9. But 9/8 can also be a complex time signature if it's thought of as 4 and 5 or 5 and 4 rather than 3, 3, and 3. Because 9 is an odd number, but it's also multiple of 3, so it can be either a complex or a compound type time signature. If it's compound, it's 3, 3, 3. If it's complex, it's 4, 5 or 5, 4. So 9 in complex or 4, 5 or 5, 4 would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, Whereas the 9/8 as a compound time signature would just be no, sorry. Yeah. So there's that, and then there's also feel. There's also feel within time signature, and that's how many the subdivision of a beat, whether it's triplet feel, eighth note feel, 16th note feel, quintuplet feel. It can be 32nd note feel, 16th note feel, like I think I just said that one, or it could be eighth note swing feel, eighth note negative swing feel, 16th note swing feel, or 16th note negative swing feel. So with feel, it's just each note can be in 16th notes. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Triplet is 3. Eighth is 2. Quintuplet is 5. Swing, if it's eighth note swung, positive swing is whereas straight eighth notes is negative 1/8 notes. I'll explain that in other videos. And I want to introduce one more thing before I end the lesson. It's a picking trick for doing the different triplets versus 16th notes versus quintuplets. I figured this out, but I'm not. It's not that hard to figure out, but I figured it out. For 16th notes or eighth notes, since you have 2 or 4. For 32nd notes, you would have 8. With 64th notes, you'd have 16. An even number of subdivision per beat, notes per beat. You always start each group with the same stroke you started. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, down, up, 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 down, up. Whereas triplet, you do the opposite because it's an odd number. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And then quintuplet is also starting with the opposite stroke because it's an even odd number also. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down, up, 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 down, up. So that's a little trick for just knowing where you're at. If you're playing really fast quintuplets, for instance, you're gonna always start each quintuplet with the opposite stroke as you did the one before. If you're doing alternate picking, so it'd be like. Try again. Whereas just these notes, same stroke. And triplets, different opposite stroke. I like those three different feels. Those are my favorites. Is just the 3 triplet and the 4 16th notes and the 5 quintuplet. So just as a final thing, I'm going to put the metronome on each of those feels. So let's do this just to show that I can. Metronome is good. If you guys can hear this metronome, it might be nice. Let me put the metronome on this beanbag chair, so it raises it up higher toward the phone, so you might be able to hear it. You guys can't hear that, can you? What can I always, sorry about this. If I set it right here, it's going to fall. But what the heck? Maybe I'll try it. Can I do that? I'm very good at balancing things, but that might be precarious. Setting it on my phone might not be the best thing to do. Well, here's what I do. I'll show you guys my process. What I do, here's the metronome. I take this guitar case right here and I stand it up on end so that it just stands up straight. Hopefully it's not, well, that's good. And then I put the metronome on top of it. So you guys can hear that. 2, 3, 4, 5. Or 16th notes. Made the tempo go really fast, so that's funny. Sixteenth notes. Okay, and then triplet. Let's do triplets here. Triplets. Good. Got it. Okay, now I messed it up. Ending in the tempo's fast, I just want to tempo down a little bit more. Triplet feel. Along with that, just showing that if you keep a good even tempo, start at the metronome at the right beat, and then do the right subdivisions per beat, you can't miss. So, triplets. Deep notes. And triplets. Sorry that I didn't do an interview with Alan Secrest. Do it soon if you can or will. Hope you guys peace, rock and roll.